Hello and welcome to Let's Talk SEO. So one of the questions I got the other day was, where do we find entities? Now there are a whole bunch of tools that you can use. Some of those tools are paid, most of them are free, but you should know where to go to find the best entities that you're trying to target as part of your entity SEO strategy. And this is where a lot of people go wrong. They think that a lot of irrelevant information is associated with their entities, and then when they have the entities, they don't know how to use it. So in this video, I'm going to break down how to find the right entities using free tools. You don't have to pay anything to do it, and how to use those entities. So it's going to be a rundown of how that works. Now, this is very important, especially after the helpful content update, because entities is one of the things that Google is stressing a lot more on, at least based on my findings, than anything else. And so if you have your entity set up correctly, you're going to rank well. You have to stay tuned for my Road to Recovery video for more information about how to use these entities to recover a helpful content update penalty. And so just keep that in mind. This is not a Road to Recovery video. I'm still gathering data on that. It's still some time before I'm able to present a good video that will help you recover. I also do SEO for a living. So most people already know that. If you've been a subscriber for a while, you know I do SEO. I provide audit services. I also provide topical mapping services, and I also do monthly SEO. And if you look at one of the things, a big part of my topical mapping services are to find related entities, clusters, link those together, and provide you with a topical map that you can use to start ranking a website and to create content, obviously, that will link to each other and create that whole topical relevant. But if your website has been hit, then you need to first get it audited, find out exactly what's going wrong, because it might not even be the latest update that hit your website. It might be a prior update that hit your website, or just because there are billions of websites on the internet, it doesn't mean that Google will hit every website as soon as the update rolls out. Sometimes it takes several months for your website to be hit by an update, and by then there are 3-4 other updates that were lined up and they're rolled out, which can make things a lot more confusing if SEO is not confusing already. So if you're looking for someone to help you with your SEO, rank your website, feel free to get in contact with me. There's a link in the description. Click the link, fill out the Google form, get in touch with me, or you can buy my services directly on our website. The link is cloudseodubai.com. So jump right into the video. Okay, so I'm on Wikipedia. You can go to wikipedia.org. And this works for just about any language, but I'll do English since I don't know any other language. And let's say I wanted to rank a website in the roofing industry, and I want to create a topical map, or wanted to create topics around roofing, and I wanted to find relevant entities. So what I'll do here is I'll do roofing and just go ahead and hit enter. And it will give me roofing, so it gives me roofing materials. That's a separate topic. It gives me roof topping, that's a separate topic. And it gives me the profession of a roofer, which is a separate topic. So when if you're creating an informational site about roofing, these will be 3 different subtopics of roofing. So this is not what I'm interested in, but this certainly gives me the right information so that I can categorize my entities based on, what is, how Wikipedia is looking at these and how Google is essentially looking at these. But what I want to do is I want to go back here and I want to go to roofing, because I want to look at roofing as a broader topic. And so roofing as a broader topic is not available, or it's not lined up the way other topics are. For instance, if I do mobile phones, this is like a topic within itself. So if I just click here, it gives me all of this, but I'm not interested in creating mobile phones. I'm not interested in creating a website around mobile phones. And so this will not be something I'm interested in. What I'm interested in is roofing. So if I go back to roofing, I will need to pull entities for roofing material, roof topping, and professional roofer. So let's just start with roofing material. And I want to find the entities that are associated with roofing material. So I'll go to tools here on the right, and I'll say what links here. And so basically it gives me a list of pages that link to the main domestic roof construction page, home roofing or house roofing. And so look here, I'm not interested in these right at the moment. I'm interested in the roofing material over here. I'm also interested in, so what I'm interested in is domestic roof construction. So this is the main entity or the main category that we're targeting. And according to this, it has roof, which is a broad entity. So maybe roof will not be relevant to the website I'm creating, but index of construction articles, not relevant. Sheet material, relevant. Roof shingles, relevant. So this is an entity that's relevant to the roofing website I'm creating. Building envelope, probably. Roofer, relevant, but this is also going to be a separate category for roofers. And so I can work my way down, and these are all potential entities that I want to look at and make sure that I'm covering all the relevant entities the way that I would have. Now, as I pointed out, there are many irrelevant entities, and so that's something we shouldn't worry about, or we shouldn't be caught up about. Now, if I were doing an article about roofing material, or I created a category for roofing material, which is an entirely different category, all of these entities here are directly relevant. So these can be separate topics, these can be subtopics, and a lot of times these also have subtopics. Now, for instance, 2019 Beleaguer tornado, probably not relevant to roofing materials, at least for the website that I'm creating, but that's fine. Heavy materials, probably relevant. We'll need to do more research about it. Solar architecture, probably relevant, but need to do more research about it. So these are all potential entities that you could be looking at. Now, once you have sorted these entities out and you figure out what entities you want to use in your content, the next thing you want to do is you want to look at the broadest entity that's associated with your industry. So we'll go to roofs, and we're going to look at the entities that are on this page. And so over here, the two things, it says roofs and roofs, which is a pronunciation. Now, then a lot of people don't use this term in their content, and that's because this is a pronunciation. This is how people would pronounce it. But usually people would search for something based on how they pronounce it. And so if you're one of those industries, these two here would be keywords that you should be looking to rank for as well. Because if someone searches ROOVS, not many people are going to be optimized, or many websites are going to be optimized for this. So you would want to optimize for this as well, so that you're ranking. So maybe add 1 or 2 instances of this keyword in your main roof page. So that's the first thing you'd want to do. You then want to look at, what other entities are on this page. So architectural design is a separate entity. Building envelope is a separate entity. Entity which is relevant to roofing, by the way. And you want to go and you want to look at all of these over here to check, if there are any entities that are on this page that are not on your roofing page. Okay, so once you have the entities, once you know what entities you want to target, you can create what's called a topical map and target those entities. And what you usually want to do is, if we go back to this page over here, we go to this page over here, you want to create pages at the very least for these relevant entities, and these will be linked to your main entity, which in this case would be domestic roof construction. So you'll do one for domestic roof construction, or domestic roofing, or home roofing, home roofers, and you'll then create these pages and link back to and from it. I have a separate video on reverse silo. You can also use a reverse silo, and that will help you rank a lot of these pages quite easily. If it's an existing website, you might have to redo the internal linking structure, but that's a separate video. But yeah, it will be definitely worth it. There you have it, folks. This is how you find entities. It's easy, but you need to know where to find it. And you also need to know how to distill these entities down to what's relevant to your website. I'm not going to say you need to use every entity on your website, but you need to use the ones that are most relevant. Just keep this in mind, the most relevant, not everyone. So SEOs recommend you use every element or every entity. I would say don't do that. That's just spamming the internet. And just use the most relevant ones and you will have no problem ranking. And if you have been hit by a Google algorithm update, stay tuned for my road to recovery video. I'll go into that. I'll go into this and how to use entities to recover from a Google penalty. So like and subscribe, and I will check you out in the next video.